How's it going, Sonic Moto fans? I'm Sonic Moto. Welcome back for another video. Today I thought I would stay on the subject of cool weather riding, and being we're in the middle of winter here and most people are putting their bikes away, I thought I'd talk about some of the tips and tricks that I follow that you should probably follow, as well as some of the misconceptions that people have about storing their bike. A lot of people say fill up the tank to the brim, that way it doesn't rust out. Honestly, I've yet to see a tank rust out. If your tank is starting to rust, you're leaving it for way too long. Motorcycles are meant to be ridden, so it's best to keep them going. But if you have to, let's follow these steps. Yes, I would say give it a full tank of gas. I wouldn't say you have to fill it up to the brim and leave no air at all. I think that's more just personal choice, but you guys can give your feedback on the subject in the comment section below. As far as stabilizers, like that red stuff that you pour in, if you're gonna put that in, I would say make sure it's not expired. That stuff, when it expires, or if you put too much in, will gum up your gas worse than leaving it out. I've personally never had to use this stuff, but if you're letting your motor sit for, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months, it might be worth it. But if it's only like 3 months, I don't think your gas is going to degrade that much, honestly. People tend to worry about flat spotting on their tires. I think this was more common with older tire technology. These days, with like the Pilot Road 4s and Pilot Road 3s and these bias versus radial tires, I believe is what the two types are. Radial tires, I believe, are not so... I don't think they're as easy to flat spot. Now, yes, if you're going to let it sit for like a year, you might have an issue, especially with a heavy bike. And now if you're talking about a 300 or even a 400, 500, maybe even a 600 class bike, you're probably not going to have issues with this. Honestly, I've never put my motorcycle on a stand and I've let it sit for 2 weeks. No issues at all. And that was on stock OEM tires from a Kawasaki Ninja 300. If you really want to, though, get yourself a stand, a rear stand and a front stand, and get your motorcycle up on it. Make sure they're sturdy and they're not going to fall apart over time. But hey, just my personal opinion on all of this. It's probably also a great idea if you go about and clean and lube your chain, especially if it's going to be sitting for a while, non-active, non-under cleaning maintenance cycles. It's going to want to rust if it's just sitting there, especially if you got salt and the whatnot. Speaking of salt, if you've ridden your bike and they've salted the streets or put the anti-salt spray down like they like to do most of the places these days, definitely wash your bike. You don't want that stuff on your motorcycle because it'll start eating away. Those are pretty nasty chemicals, and it'll just start eating away at all the metal bits and corroding everything. It'll make bolts really hard to get out in the not too distant or the future of your Moto Kikle. So yeah, give your bike a nice clean, go through all the maintenance. Again, stands are, I don't think, so much of an issue. Same with gas stabilizer, I don't think that's an issue. But definitely clean and lube your chain. I mean, that's an expensive thing to replace, and you don't want to have to do that. It's about a $100 job right there, and that's only just for parts, I'd say. But other than that, your bike is pretty simple, and so is the process of winterizing it and letting it sit for a few months. But hey, if you're like me, you're going to ride throughout most of winter, and so I hope you do the same. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed tips like this, fist bump that thumbs up button for me, and then subscribe and turn on notifications. If you have any comments or thoughts on this subject or anything that I've said here in this video, they can go down below in the comments section. Anyway, I'm Sonic Moto. If you ride safe. Sonic Moto, signing out.